Well, I used to think that like you could find a man who was high. Basically, I used to think that I could find a man who was at my level in terms of like career, who was an asshole, or I could find a nice guy who was not on my level.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was like one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that there are some power dynamics, as we've all been referring to. But then you also find people who, I mean, I have found both. I've found men who are both. I think that what I'm saying is still true in terms of like overall trends, but you just have to work harder to find the ones who are both nice
Katie.
and
I found that my
high
dating has
achieving.
gotten better as I've gotten older. Honestly, like it's less like, you know, in my younger 20s, you're always dating a bunch of people doing a bunch of foolishness, running around the place.
Speak
Like,
like
it's,
Are you?
okay, for me.
Ole, did you ever think that you would meet someone in school like FD did? That was always how I thought it was going to go. My parents met in college. I had a college boyfriend that I dated for about 5 years.
Would you like to hear about my college or law school relationship? Please pick one.
Why do you think that those didn't work out?
My law school ex-boyfriend was the Antichrist, honestly. He's a terrible man.
Was it a white dude?
You know, and God awful.
A white
And the
Antichrist.
truth comes. I'm off.
Jason, get the tea while you out, man. Get the tea.
And let me just be clear. Let me make sure I state this before anybody. I just want to have this as a disclaimer.
The management. I'm about to say the N word again.
I have dated interracially in the past, and I do not do it anymore. I have
Because of that one white dude? You let that one white dude fuck it up?
It is no.
It was several white dudes?
First of all, it's not one, but also this was enough. If I tell you the story, it's enough. Like this was enough. The man was a demon. I am not even talking about fucking big
white
demon. Let me just tell you.
Are you in the nation?
Not a white devil.
Did he make you become?
Yeah.
Jason, stop. I need to hear this. I need to hear this.
MOI.
The man
MOI.
was awful. Like, you know, and when I look back on it, he hated my fucking guts. I don't know why. He just wouldn't go ahead and free himself. Like, anyway, it was on and off for 4 years, right? So law school and the year after. I'm just gonna start from my 25th birthday and take you to the end. I'm not gonna start from all the gates. Let me just give you how we break up, or it was the last breakup before we get back together, and he does the ultimate sins. So this years of doing all kind of mess. On my 25th birthday, this is like a few days after we take the bar. We take the bar together. He tells me, you know, get dressed up or whatever. He picks me up. He hands me, 25th birthday, he hands me a gift bag. And I open the gift bag and I pull it out. And it is a stuffed, what I believe to be a stuffed Peppa Pig, like the ones they sell by the...
I love pigs.
Peppa Pig, like the children's toy, like that they sell in Walgreens by the cash register. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She may not, but I do.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. She's a British accent.
Yeah, Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
She can't whistle.
And I look at it, right? And I look at it and I realize, like, first, and I didn't realize it then, and I'm just gonna tell y'all now, right? I believe it's Peppa Pig at the time. It's not even Peppa Pig. It's George Pig. It's a supporting cast member with an $11.99 tag on it, right? So I look at him, and you don't understand.
He didn't even take the tag off?
He bought it on the fucking way to my
sure he
house.
wasn't black?
I threw it in the bag. Yeah.
Stop, Jason!
I will say, why? Like, if you don't date white, if you
Was he white?
Why your white dudes
Oh,
doing
no,
that
I
shit?
don't.
that you can't get from around the way, brother. Like,
I'm with.
Please tell me he
FD on
wasn't
that.
Jewish.
Oh,
Please
he
tell me he
gotta
wasn't
be
Jewish. Was he
He was
Jewish?
Jewish. He was Jewish.
Damn.
Yes, he was Jewish.
Damn.
Yes, he was Jewish. Yes,
He
was
did
Jewish.
us
But let me tell you
bad.
something.
He did us
I'm gonna just say
dirty.
this to y'all right
Wow.
now. The way he's doing in
believe he
life
did
right
that.
now, like truly, I've asked God to forgive him, because the way God has put his foot on that man's neck and not letting off, like, I'll tell you, like, the story's gonna go tragically anyway. So I turn to him and I say,
I like pigs.
why would you get me Peppa Pig? And he looked in my 25-year-old eyes and said, because you like Peppa Pig. So I ride We ride in the way of silence, the way I believe is the destination. I remind you of me get dressed up, right? Takes me to his brother's house.
Wait, but do you like Peppa Pig? I need to know.
No,
Oh.
yeah, Katie. No, I don't.
He was just
Was he
lying.
half black?
He
Was
hates
he-
me. No,
Jason, I swear to God.
He was I'm telling you, that's why we need to stop the swirl propaganda on Twitter. People, I be seeing them talking like they believe. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but a white man will beat your soul in, okay? Anyhow,
Okay, but Ole, was he
he
generally speaking in the context of a relationship a bad gift giver, a
he was
thoughtless
terrible human
person?
being. No, he was an awful human being.
That's not a bad
No,
gift
like
giver.
he was an awful.
Now I really want to find you a nice Jewish
And he was
boyfriend.
off. No, I know.
To redeem.
No, ma'am. That's
There's
all
a
right.
there's a
people.
Jewish
Nice
Jewish
guy.
dude
This
just
is
walked in my
many
house
years
right
ago.
now.
My men are nice. I don't want no
You
part.
single?
Okay. Yeah.
Let me tell you what he
question.
ultimately did. Let me tell you
Okay.
what he ultimately did. So after this story ends, he doesn't take me anyway. He takes me to his brother's house where he proceeds to watch everything that I hate. He knows I hate that I would hate from my house. Yes, his brother's house. Orders takeout to his brother. Yes. And then he wakes up first thing in the morning, like leaves my apartment, like he's gotta go drive his boys to the beach. Then he moves.
Was he
and now
trying to get you to break up with him?
Girl, he hates me. So I break up with him. He hates me. So of course, I do break up with him. Cool. He goes away to the boonies where he goes to go do this whack ass clerkship job, right? So he contacts me after however many months. He's like, I'm depressed. I love you. My whatever.
That's
All
satisfying.
my career. This is the next thing is going terrible. I'm messing it up. Blah, 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 blah. This is the next thing. So he flies to New York City for a week to spend a week with me while we're supposed to go get sworn in, right?
And it has a life-size Porky Pig stuffed animal for you.
Listen. The man, when I look, I'm in my office, my classmate who graduated with us walks into my office and she was like, literally says nothing. She just walks in. She's like, hey, did you see his new girlfriend? I was like, excuse me, what? What are you saying to me? She's like, yeah, like, hey, did you see? I go, and she goes and shows me, like online, shows me a woman he done flew in from the boonies where he was, whatever. Yeah, he is.
How
running
soon
around
after?
in New York City that week. Like in the week of we discussed it,
So he's unwell.
Yes. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, a demon, night demon.
It feels like I have been in the situation before where someone clearly wants to be out of the relationship, but they don't have the guts to actually end it.
No, the relationship is over. No guts. We used to talk all the time. It could end. He does evil. You don't understand. He's an evil, insidious man. I could tell you a billion different things. Right
So,
after that,
well, let me ask you this.
to marry the girl. I message. I see it. I message her and I say, hey, I'm sure you don't know about me because this is the first I'm learning of you. I'm gonna let you know right now. I've been with him from this state. Cool. Block my name. I message him, and I'll tell you know what? I'll tell y'all what I said to him. I'll tell y'all exactly what I said to him because it's the last thing I ever said to him. 4 years. I'm gonna I never said a motherfucking word. I don't know nothing about Katie's side of July. I'm gonna tell you what I said to that man. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Listen, I said, I'm not even going to run on with you because I think so little of you now, but I'm just giving you a heads up that I both know about your girlfriend and I informed of your trifling ass. Let this be known. Let this be known. No matter how depressed you ever get again, no matter when you next feel like a shitty person, no matter how poorly you continue to perform on your job, no matter what comes of your relationship with your friends and family, no matter if you ever get cancer again, no matter what ill befalls you, I will never care. Don't speak to me again in this life. I will never forgive you, and you deserve all the self-loathing you feel. And if you're lucky, old girl isn't so blessed to find a better man, and she stays with you, and y'all can grow old in misery together. You're really as small of a man as you always felt you are, and it's a damn shame I ever wasted energy trying to convince you otherwise. I see why you say you have no one in the world you can be 100% open with, because who could ever love and accept what you really are? Because when it really boils down to it, you really are weak as fuck. And I have never spoke.
And you got a little dick.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Let's not go there. Let's not even go there.
By the way, I just want to say one thing, just to wrap up my thing, is that he wound up marrying I don't know how to say this. Maybe it's not like I looked at the person he wound up marrying and was like, oh, he upgraded. I'll just say that there was not an upgrade. And I got to say, we were on a listserv together, and he and I bonded talking about politics. Like, we were both Obama supporters. I was much more like skeptical. I was like, he's not going to save the world, but he's way better than Clinton. So let's hustle. This was like, I've moved a lot politically from then. He hasn't though. So he's still there. And I remember like we were on this listserv together, and someone sent out an article featuring a bunch of, like, CNN did an article. It's like, these Bernie supporters lost it. And it included a tweet from me. And I remember he wrote back to the whole list. He's like, Bernie dead enders are going to Bernie dead end. And I was like, I'm so happy we're not together. Because,
it feels like both what you are saying, Katie, and what Ole is kind of saying or expressing is the kind of emotional response when you feel like maybe you were even compromising yourself to be in this relationship a little bit, and the other person still feels like they can go off and do better. And then you see who they're with eventually. And it's like, why? And the reason that it makes one so angry, I'll speak for myself, Ole, but I've had similar feelings of frustration once I see who the person I was once with is now with. I was previously engaged. I think I mentioned this on the podcast before. And I found out that he was back with his ex, who had dated for 7 years before me, by logging into our Airbnb account and seeing that he had switched his picture from our picture to their picture. And I'll just say that there was nothing I would aspire to be in her.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But that doesn't matter, right? I was like less frustrated. I was like, oh, it's not. It's like, it's not me.
Because at a certain point, it's hurtful because you're going through life. I feel like I'm constantly on a self-improvement journey. I grow so much between relationships. I change careers. I work out. I move into better and better apartments. My style grows. And it does, to me, it feels demoralizing that no matter how much I like myself, frankly, I'm a Leo like Ole. I feel that kind of passionate self-affirmation, and I'm genuinely shocked when people don't want to be with me.
I will say, Briahna, I do relate to that deeply, deeply. I mean, listen, yes, to your original point with compromise and values, yes, I want to be clear. That story is very, very old. Like I said, law school, right? Because that was a relationship that never had any business being. We fundamentally were there's no world in which, when I think of it now, present day, he's not even a person I could see myself even conversing with. It makes no sense. I fundamentally believe things that you're not supposed to be doing, relationships that you will not leave, that are not good for you. God has a way, the universe has a way of blowing that up in spectacular fashion, and that needed to happen. That was the best thing ever. And I don't find myself in situations like that now because I don't do foolishness now. Like, I don't be trying to make fetch happen and blah blah blah.
That's youth, though. That's you're supposed to do crazy, silly stuff.
Yes, I'm saying youth. Yes,
but also
FD he just got married.
Worked out.
I told you I got lucky.
But here's the thing. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that a lot of people, frankly, I think it's healthy to kind of grow together. I think there's a way that people, once they get older, are relatively set in their ways, and it becomes difficult to combine one's lives. I reflect that I thought I was going to marry my college boyfriend. We probably shouldn't have gotten married, but I think there's a world where if we had, maybe my politics would be more to the right, or maybe he wouldn't be on the board of a charter school right now.
Can we agree? But can we agree here that what we think love looks like sometimes in our early 20s and even 30s isn't what it ends up looking like for us in our 40s, and the things that I was looking for as a young man aren't the same things that I'm looking for now.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm very surface level when I'm young, right? And your ass has to be this big and right. And now it's like,
your ass flexible.
Like back? I'm still looking for a big ass. Katie, we talked about you on stream behind a paywall in a good way.
Oh, thanks. All right.
I just watched that. I have to say this. Pascal made me watch that Eddie Murphy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
You People.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I have to watch it.
So for people who don't know, it's a movie starring Jonah Hill and Lauren London about, a Jewish boy and a black girl who end up in a relationship. The black woman's parents are played by Eddie Murphy and Nia Long. Jonah Hill's parents are played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and David Duchovny, who was kind of underserved in that role.
No, he was great because he
Hilarious.
kept on bringing up
He was
Exhibit.
hilarious. So I just
the
watched
movie's
this
mid,
movie.
but that's the good parts. Go ahead.
I just watched this movie, and so my co-host goes, "Oh, you're gonna be on with Katie Halper. You should try to get her on the show." It was like, if I can talk to Katie Halper, we might be able to be the podcast Kim and Kanye.
You know.
Wow, the podcast Kim and Kanye.
We can.
On my screen, it's Jason, me, and Katie. So I feel like I'm in the middle of something. I'm like,
I'm in the middle of my screen.
It's me, Jason, up top on mine.
So Katie's like on her phone, like breaking up with her boyfriend.
You don't love that man. You don't love that.
So I want to respond to something. I want to respond to something Briahna said. So I say luck, right? So obviously it's not all luck, but I would say we were lucky in that we had. So I maybe I was weird, but like I never had like grand like images of what love. I would have never told her when we were going to play songs together around the world. That shit sounds amazing. I'd have laughed at myself while saying it, right? And then my now wife also was not a very like romantically minded woman. She wasn't super interested in getting married or having kids. That was something we grew into. The thing that we had to get to well together, and this maybe even goes back to some of your earlier stuff you talking about, Briahna, is that we weren't scouting each other. Like in terms of like the features that we desired and the skill sets. It wasn't like the NFL draft coming up where you're like, okay, what's this guy's 40 time? What's his broad jump? What are his stats?
You met organically.
We met organically.
And you didn't know if she liked you at first.
Right.
So, dating apps, and I'm sorry I don't want to break your train, but I want
just
to add
the main thing I want to throw is that because we had certain elements of our disposition aligned so well, it made everything not easy, right? But like, 14, however many years later, I don't know, it's been a long time. We're still together and we're still doing really well. And that's, I think, maybe the thing that a lot of people are missing, and definitely is being, to kind of give Jason a segue, is being erased because of like dating apps and stuff, because it feels like it's big data now for dating. Big data for dating.
Think about it like this. Think about it like this, FD. You meet your wife, right, through a dating app, and you guys can go out. It could be fun, but you still have that app. Mm-hmm. And maybe a match comes up. You're like, oh, shit, what else is out there? There's never a time in real life where I'm going to walk up to Ole and be like, damn, you are a hot woman. You look good. I'd like to take you out and blah, blah, blah. And then be like, can you hold on for a second? Because there's something down the street. That's never going to happen
Jason,
in real life.
Do you use apps?
But that's dating.
Is that how you actually feel when you're on the apps? Because I don't feel that way.
I've heard horrible stories.
When I'm on the apps,
all the time.
When I'm on the apps, I feel like I'm trudging the seafloor for shells, and there's nothing in the net. Like, I'm not thinking, oh my God, look at all these wonderful guys. I can't wait to go out with all of them. I'm like, oh, I guess I maybe could be attracted to him if I tried really hard and closed one eye and changed his shirt. And like, oh, like maybe if he's like really nice and smells good, then I could potentially be sexually attracted to this human being. Like, it's not an embarrassment
show you my
of riches.
dating profile.
I'm not on the apps anymore. And and that's the thing, is like, I don't actively date anymore, I don't feel, but at the same time I'm realizing and listening to this conversation that I do have me. I do have me.
You got a squad. You got
I have people in my life, and
that is stable.
Yeah, right.
And are all very handsome and very like honestly well together in terms of like, I think the man I'm most romantically involved with is like we have a pretty healthy relationship, honestly. Like it's gotten better. Like we get much better in communication, and I feel it's very he's very busy, I am very busy. There's a certain level of understanding. It's consistent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very clear.
His name is Tuesday, by the way.
That's that New York stuff. Like I'm saying, this is why I think FD is onto something here.
That's that New York stuff.
Yeah, because people are like, this is what it was when I lived in New York and I was your age, Ole. There were lots of eligible options all over the place because I was younger and New York is a better market. So yeah, there was more of an embarrassment of riches at that time, but still, if I met someone and I liked them, I wasn't always looking over my shoulder for the next person. I wanted to actually like them because I always intrinsically felt that there was value in knowing someone for a long time. Wait a minute. I don't believe that there is a such thing as a soulmate. But I believe that what makes someone unique to you and special to you and irreplaceable is the time that you've spent together. So my goal was always to find someone who I have some basic compatibility with, who I have respect for, which is a really big thing for me. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm resenting you. I need to have like a fundamental respect for who you are as a human being. And then the time we spend together builds experiences that make you now irreplaceable to me, right? And that is partly why I feel so frustrated by people who don't seem to value the experience and the time that we've already spent together, because that's the part that I can't get those years back. I can't be like, remember that great summer of 2017? Because whoever I was with in 2017 is long gone.
But I just look at it with relief. I mean, maybe it's because I've had good relationships since. And my thing is that I can always get over. The way I get over people is, you know, what do they say? The best way to get over a man is get under another one, which is, I'm sure some are going to say is problematic and gendered or whatever.
But
they have an expression in Spanish, un clavo saca otro clavo, which is like one nail takes out another nail, which doesn't have the double entendre in Spanish as it does in English. But oh shit, my mic just changed.
Can I? I'm sorry. You can go, Ole.
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, yes, I feel like I obviously, like I said, my thing materially with the dating world is I'm not on the apps. I'm not actively dating. It's not really like a New York thing. I think there's just a general level of, if you're, at least in my life experience, is, you know, if you're an attractive woman, you have, you know, certain credentials, you just da. I think there's also a hyper visibility with being public facing or whatever now is like, well, men like me and men of higher calibers and men pursue me, whether or not I'm really thinking about it or not. And I think I do have a lot. I have found, like I said, I'm far more selective in who I would entertain for the same reasons as Brie. I have a similar, like, I think I'm great. The people in my life think I'm great. I really do. If you do not think I'm great too, I literally cannot be here. Like, I'm telling you, the minute I sense even the slightest bit, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't proceed with seeing you anymore. Like, anything that you look like you're gonna fuck up my self-esteem, because genuinely, I truly mean it. I don't have the time to fall apart. Like, professionally, if I fall apart, I start to feel lesser than myself. I can't perform the way that I need to perform. I can't
Let's talk about that, because there's a part of this conversation about dating on the left that we haven't really talked about, which is that we're also content creators on the left. And dating as a leftist content creator is a whole other thing, which is obviously less relatable to the audience, but audience, you can deal with it for a second. My experience, I have had mixed feelings about whether it's useful to have a partner who actually understands what's going on the internet, who is also on the internet and understands it firsthand, and therefore can empathize with me and understand the scale of what it means to be, let's say, attacked by a NAFO swarm for a week or whatever. Or if it's better to have someone who's a complete normie and is ignorant of it and who I can go off and escape with on the weekends, and who, you know, and I've gone back and forth on that personally, because I have it with someone who was like very ignorant of what was going on the internet, and they would say kind of dismissive things like, why are you on your phone, and it's not that big a deal, just put it down, as though I'm not getting dragged for filth in front of like millions of people.
But Briahna, isn't that a beautiful thing though? Because think about this. First of all, I was in a relationship after this 7-year one with a woman that she was supportive, but she made tons more money, and the job that I do is like macaroni art. It's like, oh, that's cute. We'll put that in the refrigerator next to that thing. You know, run along now. And we're the reason why I'm in Mexico, not in Oakland anymore. But I would rather be with someone that doesn't know who I am. And not that I'm that famous anyway, but I'd rather be with someone that we can, like we were talking about off air. Let's go do, like, so when me and Katie form the power couple. The podcast power couple, and she gets done saying some silly shit on Twitter. I'm gonna be like, hey, put your phone down. Let's go watch a movie in the living room, and maybe, just maybe, we'll finish.
You people.
We'll watch You People.
Yeah.
So I have to agree with Jason that, because y'all know I'm new here, right? And I'm new here. And I got way bigger than I planned in a short amount of time. and I didn't understand the landscape. I still don't freaking understand the landscape. And so like as like 23-year-old white boys with minimal understanding of what the fuck they're talking about start talking crazy about me, I'm like, who the fuck is this motherfucker think they talk? You know, and so like, and I didn't have Twitter before I had 100,000 subscribers. And so like as like things are coming and like I'm down here like Nas writing Ether, ready to go back at people, and my wife is like, nigga, come upstairs.
Right?
You know what I'm
With
saying?
the phone down.
What are you doing?
Have they talked about your mama yet?
Right. No, not yet. I did just before we started, I found out I was a Nazi now. So I've made it.
Oh, welcome
I'm
to
officially
the
a
club.
black Nazi.
Welcome. We all
Or
get there
a
eventually.
Blotzy.
Yeah, so a Blittler.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Just a reminder that this is a podcast. You can catch an extra premium episode every Monday for $5 a month at patreon.com/badfaithpodcast. That's patreon.com/badfaithpodcast for $5 a month, an extra episode every week. Additionally, please do consider liking this video, subscribing to this channel. It helps us out. It helps independent media beat the algorithm. We appreciate you. And as always, keep the faith.